Hey guys, this is Mrs. Schoenberg. This is lesson 8.3, slope intercept form. Well, again, we're going to be doing some more graphing today, but we're going to be talking about slope. And as you all might remember, slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Do you remember that? M is slope. I don't know why m is slope, but m stands for slope. B is the y-intercept. Also equally curious as to why the letter B stands for the y-intercept, but it does. So just to review slope, when you're given 2 points, slope, M, is rise over run. Also, it's this, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And once you get that fraction, you do simplify it. Lines with positive slope go up. Okay, so this line would have positive slope because it's going up. This line would have negative slope because it's going down. Think of this one like you're going up a mountain. And think of this one like you're coming down a mountain. So this one would have a positive slope. This would have a negative slope. Think about walking along the ground. There's no slope whatsoever. Slope is 0. Just even. You're not going up, you're not going down. So horizontal lines, slope is 0. Vertical lines, think of yourself perhaps falling off something. We don't know what's going to happen to you. Slope is undefined, okay? So interestingly enough, you're going to run across some questions where if you have a horizontal line and they ask you what the slope is, you're going to say 0. If you're looking at a vertical line and Hawks ask you what the slope is, you're going to say undefined. Easy answers, but you just have to remember that. Again, slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So let's say you had the line y equals 5x minus 4. Y equals 5x minus 4. We know that m is the slope, okay? So m is 5 over 1, or just 5. And b, which is the y-intercept, is negative 4, okay? I could easily plot that. So if b is negative 4, in coordinate pair, that would be 0, negative 4. Now, y equals 5x minus 4. I just have to show you this. Y equals 5x minus 4. We said that negative 4, or 0, negative 4, is the y-intercept. Also, we said that slope was 5, or 5 over 1. Remember, slope is always rise over run. Rise over run. So from this point, I could go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. And I would have my second point. I could also go up 5 more if I wanted to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. I now have 3 points on this line. So this line is the graph of the line y equals 5x minus 4. When you graph this way, you always start with the slope intercept, which was negative 4, and then you use your slope and you go up and over, or rise over run. Once you get 2 points, you have plotted this. All right, let's do some more examples. This first one is just simply find the slope. I like to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2, so I don't get confused. But remember, m is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's substitute. That's going to be 5 minus 2 on the top, and x2 minus x1, that's 3. minus negative 1 on the bottom. 5 minus 2 is 3. That's 3 plus 1, 4. So the slope here is 3 over 4. This is your answer. Rise over run. So if you were plotting this, you go up 3 and over 4 and make a point. Also notice that this is positive slope, right? It's not negative. It's positive. It's increasing. It's a line that looks something like this, like you're going up the mountain. Now let's find slope here. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay, so slope is Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay, so let me substitute my values. Y2, 1 minus 3 over 5 minus 1. Negative 2 over 4. Simplify that to negative 1 over 2. So this slope is negative. This line could be said decreasing. And it looks more like this, like you're going down the mountain. The next kind of problem you might come across is find the equation and slope of the horizontal line through this point. Okay, horizontal lines. Are they y equals or x equal lines? They are y equal lines. And we already know that the slope of a horizontal line is 0. But let me just prove this to you. Okay, so y equals negative 2, 5. What is the y value here? It is 5. So this is really the equation of this line is y equals 5. So if we plotted this first point, negative 2 and 5, okay, could have negative 3 and 5. Anyway, I'm just telling you, here's the line in question, y equals 5. The slope of this is 0. And I guess to recap this, if you're giving a tricky question like this on Hawks, don't let it be tricky. They've already told you it's a horizontal line. If it's a horizontal line, ask yourself, is this an x equals or a y equals line? Horizontal lines are y equals line. Then you just come over here and pick up the y coordinate, which was 5. That's how I got y equals 5. And I know that horizontal lines, the slope is 0. Okay, now find the equation and slope of the vertical line through the point 3, 2. Okay, vertical lines, are they x equals or are they y equals? Vertical lines, think of the V. Remember how I told you that the x has all these little v's in it? Okay, well these are x equal lines, vertical lines. And all we have to do is pick up the x coordinate over here. So this is the equation of the line, okay? And the slope, you're gonna say undefined. Because as I told you, vertical lines, the slope is undefined, okay? All right, a couple more here. Find the slope and y-intercept of negative 2x plus 3y equals 6 and graph the line. Okay, well, if we have negative 2x plus 3y equals 6, then what we want to do is let's get y on a side by itself. So let's get this into slope-intercept form, if you will. Then we'll be able to see the slope and we'll be able to see the y-intercept. So when we get it into slope-intercept form, we have to get y on a side by itself. So now I have 3y, and I'm going to put my x value first because that's sort of y-intercept form. And then when I divide by 3, I have to divide everything by 3. Again, the goal here is to get y on a side by itself because we want to get it into this form, y equals mx plus b, so we can see the slope and we can see the y-intercept. Okay, so now we have this. We have y equals 2/3 x plus 2. We could easily go graph this, okay? But what we have here is we have that the slope is 2/3 and that the y-intercept, you can't just put 2 in, they make you put a coordinate in. So the y-intercept is 0, positive 2. Okay, and these are your 2 answers for Hawks. Okay, The next one, find the slope and y-intercept of x plus 2y equals negative 6 and graph the line. Well, again, it's the same type of problem here. We want to get y on a side by itself. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. When I do that, I'm going to put my x first, so I have negative x minus 6. Then I'm going to divide through by a 2. Now, y equals, look what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to rewrite that as negative 1/2 x. Do you see how I got from that? I wanted to pull out the slope so I could see it a little bit better. And now I can answer this question in Hawks. I can say that the slope is negative 1/2. It's negative, it's a decreasing line, it's going this direction, if you will. And my y-intercept, I can't just say is negative 3. I have to put it in an ordered pair. So it is 0, negative 3. And then let's go ahead and graph these last two. So this first one, let's see, let's graph this one. Y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Y equals 2/3 x plus 2. The y-intercept is positive 2. That's what you start with first. And the slope is up 2 over 3. So from the y-intercept, you go up 2 over 3, and you draw a point. It's as simple as that. And then this last one here, let's start with this. Y equals negative 1/2 x minus 3. Y equals negative 1/2 x minus 3. Okay, this time our y-intercept was negative 3. 1, 2, 3. And from this, it's a negative 1 and a positive 2. So you can either go up 1 and back 2 for the negative, or you can go down 1, positive 2. So we go down 1, positive 2. Draw your line. Again, sorry my line is not straight. But as you can tell, this line, which has negative slope, is like coming down a mountain. And it makes sense, right? Because our slope's negative and we're like coming down. Whereas this one right here was a positive slope. I hope this helps you. Good luck with 8.3. It's kind of a long one.